In the Tajik capital Dushanbe, the Supreme Court banned an opposition movement known as Group 24, labelling it an extremist organisation. Group 24 has come under government pressure in recent days after it used social media to call for an anti-government protest in Dushanbe, scheduled for October the 10th. Much of Tajikistan lost access to the internet after the protest plans were widely publicised, but Tajik authorities say they are not behind the blackout. In the city of Erbil, in Iraq's Kurdish region, protesters called for international help to save the largely Kurdish Syrian city of Kobani from Islamic State militants. The demonstrators on October the 8th carried portraits of Abdullah Öcalan, the Kurdistan Workers' Party or PKK leader who's in prison in Turkey. Kobani is on the border with Turkey, and the Turkish government has been criticised for failing to intervene. In Peshawar, northwest Pakistan, friends and relatives greeted pilgrims returning from the Hajj in Mecca. Some 200 people returned from Saudi Arabia on the first flight to Peshawar after the annual pilgrimage. Officials said that tight security measures were in place after several shooting incidents were reported around the airport in recent weeks. In Moscow, activists held a rotating one-person protest in front of the Azerbaijani embassy in support of jailed human rights defender Leyla Yunus. The director of the Baku-based Institute for Peace and Democracy, Yunus was detained in Azerbaijan in July on charges of fraud and treason. Her husband, Arif Yunus, was arrested with her. Their arrests came amid a sweeping crackdown on opposition activists in Azerbaijan. In the Georgian capital Tbilisi, government officials and non-governmental groups launched a project documenting the victims of Stalin's repressions of the 1930s. The new online database, titled Stalin's List from Georgia, contains newly available details of about 3,600 victims of what's known as the Great Terror of 1937-38. The project aims to raise public awareness about the political repressions of the Soviet era and Stalin's rule in particular. In the Bosnian capital, Sarajevo, artists from 8 countries are taking part in a project depicting life in the city 100 years ago. The 23 participants are creating their works in the old Ottoman quarter of Başçarşia, near the site of the 1914 assassination of the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. Sarajevo is marking the centenary of the start of the First World War, with a series of cultural events throughout the year. And that's the video roundup from Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty.